My name's Tom Cortez. I'm co-founder and chief operating officer over at Peloton. We're a New York City-based company. Peloton sits at the intersection of fitness, technology, and media. We like to say that primarily we're an interactive media company. So let me give you a 60-second video that you may have seen running on national television. If we haven't hit you with it, you're bound to be hit with it soon. But in the meantime, I'll let the video carry the day.
This is your house. This is you waking up. This is you tiptoeing past your family while they're still asleep. This is what you woke up for. This is your Peloton. This is Robin. Robin is your instructor today. Robin is not going to go easy on you. This is you attacking the hill, crushing the flats, climbing your way through the pack. This is your friend in another city, riding with you. These are the boundaries you push together. This is how you change your life. This is how you make a better day for yourself and your family, here in your home. This is Peloton.
Folks love this product. And I'm not just saying that as an arrogant founder of the company. Really, we are humbled by how much folks love this product experience. And it's come through in all sorts of ways. 1,000 folks have rated the product on a variety of different sites. We literally have five-star reviews, all of them. We have at least 10 of our customers have sent us photos of our corporate logo permanently tattooed on their body, often accompanied by their Peloton username, because they have become part of this movement, part of this experience. We consider them part of our family and extension of our staff. Reese Witherspoon, Sophia Varga, Kate Hudson, they didn't tell us. They just posted on Facebook how much they love their Peloton. Ellen DeGeneres the other day took 1.5 minutes unprompted to talk about how Peloton changed her life. That floored us, guys. We didn't ask her to do that. So this is something that's creeping into people's body and soul, and I think I can tell you a little bit about why. But first, we're growing at a ridiculous lightning pace. We put the first product in market in January, February of 2014. We had spent about 2 years before that in R&D and struggling to find funding, struggling to pay our own bills, on hope and prayer that we thought we had something in the face of a lot of folks who told us we didn't. We were 4 guys in a room. We're now 400+ employees around the country. We're backed by about $120 million in venture capital. 96% of the people who ever started paying for their Peloton monthly subscription are still paying today. 8 million rides through our system. And if you're familiar with Net Promoter Score, we have an NPS of 91. We didn't believe it. So we asked a really expensive consultancy to go and cross-check our work. And they did. They also didn't believe it, so they did it again. Turns out it's 91. If you guys aren't familiar with NPS, Apple's iPhone, one of the most beloved products in the world, ranks in the 60s. And that's a remarkably high number. 91, the last time we polled this, 0 detractors. And on top of that, we're growing revenue 3x year on year. So at this conference, we're talking about innovation with purpose. At Peloton, we talk about design with intention. I think they're the same. So what is our intention at Peloton? This one's a bit of a tongue twister or mind game, but here's what we want to do. We want to make you want to work out. Following me? So imagine waking up in the morning and saying, man, I want to get on my Peloton bike. I want to be part of that experience. I want to be there with the community. I want to be there with my instructor because it motivates me, because I love it, because it helps me have a better start to every single day. Instead of waking up and saying, ugh, I gotta train. I gotta lose weight. I gotta reach that goal. That's not where we are. We want folks to want to work out. So that's our true north. And I think we achieve that in 3 ways. Number 1 is sticking to sort of our core differentiator, which is that Peloton delivers this immersive, entertaining, and interactive fitness experience. Okay, and we'll touch on what I mean by that. And then 2 and 3, how we carry that through. A focus on user-centered design for software and hardware. And 3, this uncompromising approach to end-to-end user experience. And what does that mean to us? That means when you look at an NPS of 91, the only question anyone at Peloton's allowed to ask themselves is, what the fuck with the 9 points? How do I get those back? Sorry about the cursing. So one more point here. What's tricky for us is that we've created this completely vertical business, which means that when I talk about pushing on end-to-end user experience, when I talk about user-centered design, when I talk about sticking to our true north, we have to do that across every single aspect of this business. Now, we didn't set out and say, oh man, I can't wait to create a really complicated business. We set out and we said, how can we create a completely differentiated user experience that is something that can change the way people interact and enjoy fitness? And over years, it turned out that we had to own more and more of that experience. We approached folks and said, we'd love for you to stream your content into our system. We're software guys. Hey, let us do the back. You do the front. And they basically said, who are you? We looked for a hardware partner. Same thing. A lot of fingers in the first 2 years. So what we ended up building was a company that has many companies built into one. We're a hardware company. We're a software company. We're a fitness media company. E-commerce and retail and logistics. That was a crazy one, by the way. We took over the delivery ourselves. So I'll get into all that. So starting with number 1, our value prop. It's immersive, entertaining, and interactive fitness content. What the heck, what does that mean? Well, back in the 80s, Jane Fonda did her thing. And what's crazy is that since she did her thing in the 80s, no one has changed her thing. Her thing just happened to be on VHS, and it moved from VHS to DVD, CD, Laserdisc. It's probably streaming now. You can find it on an app. I've seen some of it on my Samsung TV, right? So what it's done is it's changed medium. But no one's bothered to change the formula. And that drives us crazy. So what we set out to do was change the formula. We said, how can you make this truly immersive and truly interactive? How can I break that formula of, one instructor in the front, tights on, excellent smile, extras in the back, clearly paid to be there, remarkably fit, by the way. How do they keep up with everything that she's doing? It's as if they knew. I don't know in advance and they're just perfect and pump into it. And you buy that CD, you buy that DVD, you put it into your machine, whatever the machine is. You use it, you're excited, and then you throw it away. The company who sold you that end good, they're happy, they made their money. They didn't need you to stick around. Similar to the big box gyms, right? They're happy that in January they sold you that membership. We're not happy unless you're working out with us every single day. We charge a $39 a month subscription for every single person in your entire household to have access to the most remarkable fitness instructors on the planet. I am not shy to say that they are the most remarkable fitness instructors on the planet. By the way, if you're a fitness instructor on this planet, no one offers you a better job. We pay more, and we give you a platform to be a ridiculous celebrity. You teach to thousands of people every single day instead of 30 in a room in a JCC. We truly have the best, and we stream them live to you wherever you are. So interactive fitness, make that instructor come through, make that community feel like you're in your house. When you put your headphones on and there's a 22-inch Peloton beautiful HD touchscreen in front of you, when its touchscreen's 2 feet away from your face, it's as if you're lost in it. And so when my wife is sleeping and my two kids are taking their nap, and I'm in my 1,000-square-foot apartment in Brooklyn, and I've got my Peloton bike at the foot of my bed, and I put those headphones on, I can get lost in this workout. And it means that I could wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, I can roll over, get on my Peloton bike, take a 45-minute class, shower, be done. My kids wake up at 7. Thank you to my wife for teaching them great sleeping habits. And I could spend an hour with my kids enjoying my family from 7 to 8, get on the subway, 8, go to work, be there at 9. Peloton gave me an hour with my family. Who the hell doesn't want that? User-centered design. There's a lot here. I mean, it's like a big term that people throw around, and I'm never even sure if I use it the right way, the way other people use it. But I use it anyway. Here's what I mean. On the hardware, we didn't set out to reinvent the bike. Bikes are great. It's a simple machine. Ever since the spin bike came out, folks have loved it. Ever since a road bike came out, people have used it. People and bikes, they go well together. We didn't need to reinvent it. But what we did need to do is we needed to focus on a specific user experience, a specific user, and craft a product that was designed for that user. So for me, I remembered the days of riding my bike in my house, watching videos, unable to get my heart rate up, and the woman who unfortunately was a librarian who lived below me would come up, knock on my door, slip a note under and say, "You're being too loud." So we made the product quiet, smooth, approachable. We wanted something that had, reflected modern industrial design that you would be proud to put in your home. Our customers send us photos. They don't put these in their basement. They put them in their living room, in their bedroom. They purposely want to show them off. They're proud of their Peloton because they're proud of the whole experience. So intentful design, and a user focus on the software. We spend every day on the software side looking at how people path their way through our system, and we find ways to break down friction points and other ways to enhance those clear paths where we see people wanting to go. And we're incredibly responsive, incredibly agile in our approach, and this is critical. And at the end of the day, what we say to our product designer, software and hardware, is we say, hey guys, you are here to create a product that needs to disappear. The product doesn't take the center stage. This is bigger. This is about an interactive, enveloping consumer experience. The product needs to land in somebody's home and work for the next 10 years without anything ever interrupting. The software needs to be smooth and intuitive. We want people subscribing for the rest of time, so the product needs to simply just do its job for the rest of the time. When you talk to our customers and you ask them why they love Peloton, I promise you they will not talk about the bike. I promise you it wasn't easy to make the bike. I promise you they're not going to talk about the software. They're not going to talk about the product itself, and that's a good thing. That means that we did our job. We made the product disappear, and we let the experience come to the front. This is what it looks like when you're in a Peloton class. This is Hannah Corbin, one of our beloved instructors, former dancer, amazing athlete. When you're in class, you have all of the folks from around the world there with you. You see their performance versus your performance. Your performance. There are tons of different metrics and communication happening. The instructor will call you out because she's got a great dashboard in front of her, algorithmically telling her, hey, Sue in Minnesota is on her bike for the 3rd time this year, and you get that call out, and you feel it in your soul. You say, man, she knows I'm here. And so it's weird to end on a picture of a truck, but I think it's important. This third one. to truly be uncompromising, really uncompromising when looking at the end-to-end user experience, we had to make some tough choices. And one of the things that we found when we released the product, so we move, in the current iteration of Peloton, it's a bike, right? And that bike is a 150-pound package. There isn't a great way to move 150-pound packages around this country, or around the world, for that matter. The country's gotten great at moving small goods, right? You order a small good, it shows up the next day. FedEx got that on the lockdown. Nobody's quite figured out the big stuff. And you've probably felt this. If you ever ordered a couch, refrigerator, anything oversized, you get some gruff dude who shows up in your house, drops the thing, makes you sign a piece of paper, angrily leaves, doesn't apologize for the fact that even though you had a 4-hour window, he showed up 4 hours after the end of the 4-hour window. You took off all day at work, and he calls you and says, "Oh, just kidding, I'm coming tomorrow." That's the experience in this country with delivery of big stuff. I don't have a better word for it. And so we saw this as an awful thing. This is the first interaction for most of our customers with Peloton. This is their onboarding. And I've got this goon showing up in your house. That's not good. That doesn't get you a 91 NPS, and that doesn't close the gap to 100. So we made a decision. We made a decision about 18 months ago to invest in our own fleet. By the end of this year, 50% of all Peloton deliveries in the 42,000 zip codes in America will get a delivery by a Peloton employee in a Peloton Mercedes van that's been built and tested in a Peloton facility before we show up in your home. So when I show up in your home, first of all, I'm going to be on time. Second of all, I'm going to know something about the product. Third, I'm going to have tested the product before I show up at your house. Seems like a good idea. And fourth, if I'm going to spend 30 minutes in your house introducing you to Peloton, I'm sure not going to do it with a screwdriver in my hand. I'm going to do it with a product, and I'm going to talk to you about the instructors I love, help you understand what it means to clip in with your shoes, why I might want to use weights in some of the full-body classes, remind you that Peloton isn't just the bike, but that you get a free access to our iPad app where you have access to yoga, boot camp, abs workouts, high-intensity interval training workouts. So the other day, my wife was on the bike, I was doing an abs workout, and then we switched all for that one Peloton membership. So if I'm going to spend 15, 30 minutes in your house, I better spend it talking to you about the experience, not sitting there with a screwdriver in my hand. So this has been a massive investment for us, but this is just a great example of what I mean when I say that we will tear down walls to take out friction in our user experience and truly be uncompromising in crafting the perfect end-to-end user experience. So that's what I got for you guys. Thanks so much for listening.